Hey, hello everybody. How's it going today? Have you got your cup of coffee? Today I'm going to extend what I've been talking about as far as protection. And the best way to keep yourself protected is to avoid negative energy and keep yourself as positive as you possibly can. Keeping your own vibe up keeps your defenses up against negative energy that's around you. One of the things that really ties in with this whole topic is the law of attraction. You know, you kind of are and attract what it is you think about. You know what? If you're in a place of fear or anxiety, stop and try and just select another little thought. Don't be so afraid. Don't think negative. It's not that the old paradigm of thinking that waiting for the other shoe to drop, you usually get that kind of outcome from it. You keep sending the universe out that vibe that you're expecting not so good things to happen. You're just expecting the worst. Can't pay the bills. The car might break. You know, as you think about those things, you are aligning with that vibration. And that's kind of what you attract. It works on every aspect of your life. Mates, boyfriends, spouses, girlfriends, companions in your life. You will attract what it is you put out. I'm living proof of that. So kind of pick and choose who you like to be around so that they don't drain your energy. Now, you really can't make bad things happen just by having some bad thoughts, you know, like if you wished somebody would fall off the planet or, you know, maybe I hope they would put their car in a ditch kind of thing. You know, you really can't cause that kind of stuff to happen. And if you do or can cause that kind of stuff to happen, you're messing around with some dark, heavy energy. Keep the fuck moving. I don't even need to talk to you. You're not in the right place. But anybody that is a light worker, that believes in God's source and being grateful for everything that we have and everything that we do, I'm just saying, let's just put ourselves in the light and think those good thoughts. Now, as you learn to stay positive, one of the biggest benefits you're going to find is your own immune system will grow and get strong. You'll bolster it just not having negative thoughts. I noticed myself, I went through a horrible breakup about a little over a year ago, and I was down and out for a little bit. It took me a minute to shake it off, but I noticed I was never sick again. I have not been sick this year for a full year. No sniffles, no flu, no cough, no cold, no nothing. And I'm exposed to a lot of people. I'm absolutely famous for my hugs because every time I hug somebody, I really impart my love to them. But I've been exposed to a lot of people, and my little side gig is the fact that I drive Amish. I have Amish neighbors in my community, and they need to get to grocery stores, doctor's offices, and sometimes in better situations, like opposed to the quarantine that we're dealing with now, they just like to visit, and they ride and go shopping quite a bit. But I'm around a lot of people, and I have not been sick, and I have been exposed to a lot of people. Absolutely, a lot of people. Before we went into quarantine, I was doing some very large groups, upwards of 40 and 50. That's a lot of hugging. And I love every minute of it. And you know what? I really miss those hugs, because anytime I give you guys that powerful hug that I give, and I impart that energy to you, it helps me grow. It lifts me up. So I do it for both of us. Um, Keeping positive can be a real lifestyle changer. I was brought up Italian, and in my family, pass the salt at the dinner table could start an argument. My mother and my father were brought up with those old world Italian ways. And, oh, you can't do that. That's not no good for you. No, you can't do that. Um, and that's hard to overcome and outgrow. It takes a lot of growth and development to get yourself to a different place where, you know what, I can do that. Look, I've been doing it. Matter of fact, I'm doing it pretty good. Um, so it takes a while to get your mindset to change. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to constantly look at where your thoughts are going negative. One of the big things is don't dwell on negative financial issues, because you will attract that same type of financial energy to you. Money and finances are absolutely a gift from source. And in order to align with those things, those abundances that source has out there, just waiting for us, new cars, new houses, whatever it is, just maybe it's just enough to get by from paycheck to paycheck, just a little bit more, but you can attract a better financial outcome by not dwelling on the lack of money, but knowing there will be more. Yep, I know source always provides for me. I have been one of those people that have been very fortunate. I have been at points where I've been financially down and out, didn't think I would have enough money to pay the electric or keep the gas on, and at the last minute, something always came through. Every time I wanted to buy a new vehicle, I just kept that positive outlook. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one. I'm going to get that one. I'm going to get that one. And when you get all jazzed and you get that energy pumping and you get going and you really get excited about it, you're lining up with it. You're bringing it into you. You're manifesting it at its best. So keep that attitude. Even if you're financially, it might not be in the cards right now, you still keep that attitude and you're going to attract those better things, and perhaps that car in your life. Matter of fact, I'm working on manifesting that new car right now. Change your mindset. That also means maybe picking a new crowd of people to hang out with. You can, and you know who they are. There's those crowds of people that when you get in there, they're old friends, they're dear friends, and as soon as you get sat down and you think that you can relax, the gossip starts. Oh, did you hear? Oh, did you see? Oh, did you know about? Now, it's okay to bring other people's names up in conversation, but when you're doing it in a derogatory way, tearing them down, not so much. But if you're bringing up, Bill Smith, because his wife's been sick and they need prayer, and they've always had a tough time of it, and you're just catching up on news, that's not a bad thing. But when you say that Bill Smith brought this on himself because he was a lying, no good, cheating, la-di-da, that's not the way your conversation needs to go. Your mind already went back to that old negative paradigm and way of thinking, and all you have to do is stop and change that thought. And I like to relate that to the old-fashioned jukeboxes. Who remembers old-fashioned jukebox? The one with the big turntable that went all around and the records stood up on end. And it would go around and it would stop and it would pick up a record and it would bring it and lay it on the turntable. And then you'd get to hear that song. And those old jukeboxes used to have a reject button on the back of them. If that was a bad song, one that somebody didn't want to hear right at that moment, you could hit that reject button and stop it and go pick another song. And that's what I want you to do whenever you get a bad mindset, whenever things start going wrong and things look negative, stop the jukebox and pick a new thought, pick a new song, pick something a little better, something more positive, even if you have to take yourself to an artificial viewpoint just to get it back into the positive perspective. Some people will focus on beautiful crystal glass. Ooh, makes me smile. Some will focus on butterflies or angels or anything that lifts you up and makes you happy. A bouquet of balloons. Focus on anything. You're just changing the focus from the negative thought, giving you a different way to recalibrate that thought, and then you can go on and choose a little more positive mindset and way to look at it. Sometimes shit just happens and things get bad in your life, and Tranny went out of the truck, and Billy Bob's not going to be able to go to work this week. That stuff does happen, and you may not have attracted it completely, maybe a tad, but it happened. And it's okay to get bummed and get down. And it happens to a lot of us. And during these really unsure times, it's easy to really, really get, really bummed out. But don't put yourself down by getting bummed out. And you don't have to stay down there in that negative vibration. Go ahead and get yourself picked up. If you're dealing with depression, that's that negative thing really clinging. So you have to kind of make a point to stop, pick a new focus, the balloons, the crystal glass, the butterflies, anything that helps, and then change that song, change that thought, bring it back to something positive. Over a period of time, you can pick yourself up out of depression, just by telling yourself, I feel better today, I feel better today. I feel better today than I did yesterday. I will feel better tomorrow than I do today. I have battled depression. I lost 2 children over the past 25, 26 years. I've lost 2 sons. One was an infant, and he was 3 months old, and one was 23 years old. And, a mom can slip into some really deep, dark places. And she can really dwell on her loss. But that's not how they want us to think of it. They wanted us to look at it as their graduation. They're leveling up. They got the promotion. That's why we went to Sunday school. We were told that if we lived right, we'd get the reward, right? The Bible also says to cry at birth, because that's when all our troubles start, and to rejoice at death, because that's when we get to go be with our Maker. That's where everything is chill. Everything is heaven. They named it that for a reason. But I'm slipping off the topic. You're kind of getting what I'm saying about trying to stay positive. It's not easy. It's kind of like working at a marriage, and it really is. It's a union, and it's a coupling of your own spirit, your own intuitions, everything about you, pulling that all together and being able to change where you're at and move on to something new. That's all for today, as far as, just trying to change your thought patterns and get into a new energy. I hope I can get this posted over to Patreon. If not, I will hold it back a little bit so those of you that are my YouTube subscribers can find it. And if you would, please subscribe, like, and share my videos, whether it's from Patreon, YouTube, or even Facebook. And until I see you again, always remember that I send you love and light.